Hello everybody, welcome to GIS E-Pathshala, Grade 8 Social Science. Our topic is Politics. Our topic is the Indian Constitution. In previous lecture we have discussed about Constitution. In that we discussed about the game. In game some rules are there. Suppose the rules are not there, the game is not a game. So like that in society also we need some rules. If any society wants to sustain, some rules are necessary, laws are necessary, and laws are required to govern a society or a country. So now all the fundamental rules are there. Some rules are there that are those are counted as fundamental rules, and all those rules are very necessary. And now in the modern countries, the fundamental rules, all the rules are in the written form. So a written document in which we find such rules is known as a constitution. A written document in which we find such rules is known as a constitution. We have seen in the example of Nepal that from moving from monarchy to democracy, they need to prepare a new constitution. So like that in our country also, when the British rule was there during the colonialism, our nationalists felt that there should be democracy in India after freedom. There should be democracy in India after freedom. At that time, some of the rules were there, but some of the rules were followed forcefully because our country was under the British rule, and our nationalists they thought that after independence, whenever we will get independence, after independence, India should be a democratic country. So they planned and they thought that to become a democratic country, there should be certain rules. Rules should be there, and for that, they thought that we have to make one constitution. Constitution is necessary for that, but that is not a easy task. That is not a easy task, and that was not done by a single person. It was not possible that a single person can do that. So around 300 members came together and made a constituent assembly. They made a assembly to draft the Indian constitution. And the committee was established in 1946. So many members were there in the committee, and it was a huge task because in India several communities of people were living together. They all were belonging from different castes. They spoke different languages, and many diversities were there in India. And keeping many things, they have to draft the constitution. After independence also, some of the issues were there. Some princely states were not ready to join in India. India-Pakistan partition was there. So many issues, many things were there. All the things they have to kept in their mind, and after that they draft one constitution. And at last all the things were ready, and the Indian constitution was established on 26 January 1950, and that day India was declared as a republic nation. So every year on 26 January we are celebrating the Republic Day of our country. Many members worked hard to draft the Indian Constitution, but Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar is known as the father of our Indian Constitution. Now we will see some of the main features of our Indian Constitution. What are the features of our Indian Constitution? And the features of our Indian Constitution is federalism, parliamentary form of government, separation of powers, fundamental rights, and secularism. Once again, the features of Indian Constitution: federalism, parliamentary form of government, separation of powers, fundamental rights, and secularism. Now the first feature is federalism. Now we are going to see about federalism. So federalism means existence of more than one level of government. Existence of more than one level of government. See, in our country we can see central or union government is there. In each state government is there, and local government is there. That is the Panchayati Raj. You learned that in the 6th standard, 7th standard also. So the three levels are there. Central government is there in each state government is there, at local level Panchayati Raj is also there. So existence of more than one level of government. Only one single level is not there, but more than two levels are there. After that, now federalism. Why the federalism is necessary? Why the need of federalism is there? Because India is a very vast country, and the people from different communities are there. So one single person or one single level, it is not possible to govern properly all the things. So the power is diverted from top to bottom. So the power is diverted from top to bottom. In school also, many times you are noticing that only the principal is not running the school. He made some of the heads in the different level. Suppose in KG section one head is there, 1 to 4 standard one head is there, in upper primary one head is there, secondary level one head is there. So like that the power is distributed among all the persons, and for that the power is from top to bottom, and so existence of more than one level of government is the federalism. Now we have seen this, the power is distributed from top to bottom. So each state enjoys autonomy in exercising power, but at the same time they follow the laws of the central government. See, each state has their own power. They can do work, they can take the decisions, all the things according to their own. But it is not like that, that afterwards they will say that now we have all the power, so we make our separate country. So at last they have to follow some of the rules of the central government. As the state enjoys autonomy in exercising power, but at the same time they follow the laws of the central government. And constitution contains lists that specify the laws making power of each tier. Tier means the level of government. So constitution contains list. There is the lists are there. In list all the things are written, all the things are mentioned, that which under which list who is working how. Like that in the list, some of the lists are under the central government, some of the lists, some things are under the state government, and some are under both the government. Sometimes it happens there might be a conflict under the state and the central government, but at last the state government has to follow whatever the given by the central government. So like that they have to follow the rules also. After that, for the working of the things, money is required. So how they will arrange the money, how the sources are, what are the sources are money, that is also given by the central to the state government, and according to that they are working for the sources of money also. Now under federalism, the states are not the agent of the federal government. Under federalism, the states are not the agent of the federal government, but they get their authority from the constitution also. They get their all the authority from the constitution as well. So now finally once again I am saying what is federalism. Federalism means existence of more than one level of government. And in our country, 3-tier level of government is there. 3 levels are there: central government, state government, and local level it is the Panchayati Raj. Thank you.